Hey, you alright? Welcome to another video. If you haven't been here before, my name is Georgie Jo and this is my channel where I talk all things books. So today I am not feeling very good. I want to just chill out in my comfy jumper and just escape from the world a little bit. So I thought I would do a 24-hour readathon over this weekend. So it's currently Sunday, but it's a bank holiday tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing the method that is 2 12-hour days. Hopefully. This has not worked for me so far. It usually ends up being like 4 or 5 days long. However, I've got absolutely nothing on for these next 2 days, so I'm hoping that I can manage to get it done. It is currently nearly 9 o'clock, so I think that's a good time to do it. 9 till 9. It's 20 to 9 at the moment. So I think I'll get myself set up and then I will start. The plan for today, the TBR, first is to finish the books that I'm currently in the middle of. So I'm in the middle of 4 books at the moment. 3 are fiction and then 1's non-fiction. The non-fiction one, I'm not massively bothered about finishing it this weekend, but I'd like to progress it a bit more. So let's go through them. First off, we have got The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. I'm actually quite far into this book. I've not really got a lot left, but I definitely want to get it finished. I'm really enjoying this. It's probably the first book I'm going to start today. It shouldn't take me too long, although it is still, you know, it's a chunky book, so there is still quite a bit left. But yeah, Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. And then we have got Us Against You by Frederick Backman. This is the second book in the Beartown trilogy. Again, really enjoying this. I'm not very far into it, so we've got a lot of this book to go. The story's not really properly started yet, but I really enjoyed Beartown. I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars. So I'm looking forward to being with these characters again and seeing where the story is going to go. So yeah, Us Against You. And then the non-fiction book I'm in the middle of is Once by Gillian Anderson. So I saw somewhere that someone said it's best to read this kind of now and then rather than binge reading it. But that's kind of caused me to never pick it up because I kind of forget about it if I'm not, you know, actively reading it. So I want to at least get a few like chapters done in this or essays done in this to like progress it a bit more, because I've only read this amount, like you can hardly even see the pages, and I started that like months and months and months ago. So yeah, I would, if I can finish it, that would be great. I might read a few of the letters in between like books when I finish them. I'm not sure yet, but at least if I can progress it a bit more, I'll be happy with that. And then the 4th book that I'm hoping to finish over this weekend is The Jassard Heir. I don't have this in physical form. I've been reading it on my Kindle, but I'm not very far into this at all. I might even start it again because I started it like a good few weeks ago now, and I think I actually got distracted by The Raven Scholar and that's why I didn't carry on reading it. So I don't really remember, you know, all the brain space has now been taken up by The Raven Scholar, so I don't really remember what happened. So I'll probably just start that one again, but I am in the middle of it, but probably like 5%, so I'll just start it again probably. But yeah, that is on my Kindle. So yeah, that's the plan. Obviously if we get all 4 finished, which we very well might do, I'm not really sure how thick of a book The Jassard Heir is, but because I've not got a lot of The Raven Scholar left, we very well might be able to get some more books done. I do have books still on my August TBR that I've not read, so we'll probably move on to that if we've got any time left. But yeah, I'm gonna start with The Raven Scholar and get some of these books finished and taken off of my TBR. Okay, so I'm just about to start. It is just turned 9 o'clock, but I realised I didn't tell you anything about The Raven Scholar. So like I say, this is going to be the first book that I'm going to start with. This is basically an epic fantasy world, a new series. I think it's going to be a trilogy, but I'm not really sure. And you've basically got a world where there are different monasteries, and each monastery is kind of based off of a sacred animal. So you've got the ravens, the bears, the oxes, the hounds, the tigers, the foxes and the dragons. I'm missing one because it's 8 in total. Oh, the monkey. the monkey as well. So you've got those 8 like sacred animals, each have got a monastery based off of them, and it's come up to a point where the emperor is basically retiring and they need a new emperor. So each monastery has its own contender. The dragon one is a proxy because they don't usually like compete. They wouldn't compete for the throne. They don't want the throne. So yeah, each of the other 7 has got their own contender in order to win the throne. So they need to go through these trials, and they've decided that they want the trials to kind of emulate the original trials from years and years ago. So there's like weapons involved, you could get killed, there's a lot going on. And then in the middle of this contest, one of the contenders gets murdered, and Nima Kra, who is a Raven scholar, she's like the high scholar, she's the kind of the emperor's scholar, like she helps the emperor a lot, she's very high up, obviously the high scholar, and she gets tasked with figuring out who murdered contender. So Nima Kra is a Raven herself, obviously the Raven scholar, and basically she could either succeed and win the throne, or she could end up getting killed if she doesn't succeed, basically. There's a lot going on in this book, I would say. I think because I've been reading it on my Kindle like at night time, it's obviously taken me a bit to get through it then, and I feel like because there's so much going on, and it's the first one in the series, so you know, you're building the world, you're learning the characters, you're learning the hierarchy and stuff like that. There's a lot happening, and obviously it's, you know, a pretty chunky book. I think it's like over 500 pages. So, oh, it's over 600 pages. So I feel like I'm almost forgetting what's happened at the beginning, you know, until it gets brought up again. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I think it's going to be a really good book to reread. Like when the second one comes out, I think it's going to be a good book to reread because I'll notice a lot more things, you know. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, don't get me wrong, I'm really enjoying it. Like I'm already planning to reread it and to carry on the series, and I've not even finished it yet. As I really enjoy the characters, I'm enjoying the trials aspects, like the competition, but I just think there's a lot. I think whenever you start any kind of fantasy series, you know, there's a lot of information at the beginning. You've got to learn a lot about this new world. So yeah, very much enjoying it. Looking forward to seeing how it is actually going to finish, because there's like a few different, you know, things that could happen and all would make sense. So I'm looking forward to seeing where the story is actually going to go. So yeah, I'm going to sit and finish this now. I have got over 200 pages left to read still. I'm on page 444, so I have got over 200 pages to read. So we'll start the timer. It's actually 5 minutes past 9 now because I kind of forgot to talk about the book. But anyway, I'm going to start the timer and get to reading. So I've just finished The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson, and I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I think the book is very long, to the point where there's moments where it wasn't really keeping my attention the whole time. I think it definitely could have been shorter. Overall, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed that there's like a bit of a murder mystery in there. There's obviously the trials, there's the sacred animals, there's the like politics and things like that, which I enjoyed. But yeah, it definitely didn't keep my attention the whole time, and I think there were moments where I was kind of having to go back to reread parts because I'd almost like glazed over whilst I was reading it. Not often, but there was definitely moments that happened for sure. I think overall I'll probably give it 3 stars. I think I will carry on the series. I also feel like it ends in a way where I feel like satisfied with the ending, you know, like if another book didn't come out I would be okay, you know. I don't feel like I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for the next one to come out, which I feel like you should be at the end of a fantasy. But I also do feel like I want to read the rest because I enjoyed the characters. Some of the characters are a little bit insufferable, but that's kind of a good thing, you know. You don't want to like all of the characters. Like they've done the job if they're making you feel something, you know, unless it's bored. So yeah, overall I'd say it's a good fantasy. I think there's a little bit of a romance subplot in there. There's obviously the trials, which I think could have been more entertaining. I think there's more that could have been done around the trials to make them a bit more on the edge of my seat, like interested, you know. But overall, yeah, I would say probably quite an average book, which is why I'm going to give it 3 stars, an average fantasy. And timer-wise, it took me a lot longer to finish that than I thought it was going to. I think, like I say, because I was having to go back and reread parts, and obviously it's a hardback book, so there's more words per page, and I did have 200 pages left, so it actually took me just over 5 hours to finish that, which I feel like is really long for me, but maybe it's not, I don't know. Anyway, so we're on 18 hours 54 minutes and 25 seconds left. So we've got the first book done. Next up I'm going to go on to, I feel like I need a little break before I go on to the Jassard Heir. You know, I need a break from the 2 fantasy worlds, so I'm going to go into Us Against You. I actually might read a few of the letters in one first so that I can progress that a little bit. Basically this book is a collection of anonymous letters from women talking about their fantasies and their sexual desires and things like that. I've read a few of them already, and it is like good. I mean, I was enjoying it when I was reading it. I think it's quite interesting. It's one of those things where, you know, you might feel like you're really weird and you've got really like strange thoughts or desires, but whatever it is, you're never going to be the only one, you know. You're never going to be the only person that thinks like that or that wants that. There's always going to be someone that matches that energy, so it kind of just reiterates that, really. But yeah, I'm going to read a couple of these, I think, and then I'm going to go on to Us Against You. So I am on page 283 of Beartown, so I've not really got a lot left now. I'm really enjoying this. I love this series. I'm gonna be upset when it's finished. I'm glad this is the second one, so that I've got another book left to read with these characters in. If you've not read Beartown, it's basically, Beartown is a town in kind of the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of a forest. It's kind of been forgotten about, but it's very loved by the people that live there, and their main thing is they have a hockey team, and it's really like means a lot to the people that live in Beartown. It's like really important to them, and a lot of stuff happens in the first book, which is just called Beartown. A lot of stuff happens, and it's very character driven. But there is also, you know, a lot going on. Like it kept my interest, and I felt so attached to the characters, and I'm glad that this one, Us Against You, is doing the same thing. It's making me feel like I'm so invested again, and I'm wanting to know what's gonna happen. Something major has just happened, and I feel like it's about to start spiraling. Like a lot's been going on anyway, but it's definitely been building up to this moment, and one big thing has just happened, but I can't get it out of my head that someone's gonna die, and I feel like I'm just constantly guessing who it is that's about to die. No one might it's not guaranteed that someone's gonna die. I just can't get it out of my head that someone's about to. So that's where it's up to at the moment. Like I say, something major has just happened, so I'm gonna stop reading this for now because I want to go and get comfy in bed, and it's comfier to read your Kindle in bed rather than a physical book, especially a hardback. So I'm going to put this down now and I'll finish it tomorrow. But I'm going to start the Jacid Air now on my Kindle. I think I'm just going to start it again because I genuinely can't remember anything that's like happened in it. Because I started reading The Raven Scholar quite close to when I started reading the Jacid Air, so I can't really remember anything that's actually happened in it, you know. So I was 10% of the way through, or 9% of the way through, my Kindle says. But yeah, I'm just going to start it again. I think that will just be easier. I'm going to go and get in bed, get comfy, start the Jacid Air. Time wise, we've got 14 hours, 31 minutes and 42 seconds left on the timer. It's only 8 o'clock, so I'll probably get in bed and read for a couple of hours. So hopefully I'll be able to hit the 12-hour goal for today. I'm going to get up a bit earlier tomorrow than I did today, and I can start, you know, reading from earlier so that I can definitely get the 12 hours done, or whatever it is that's left on the timer. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm really enjoying Us Against You by Frederick Backman, but I think if I carry on reading and something big starts to happen, I'm gonna end up reading it until it's finished basically, and I want to go and get comfy in bed. So yeah, that's the plan. Go and start the Jacid Air by Sarah Hashem. You by Frederick Backman finished. I really enjoy this series. I was feeling a little bit emotional whilst I was reading it. A lot was going on, and yeah, I really love these characters. I'm looking forward to starting the third one in the book, but also feel like I don't want to read it yet because I don't want the series to finish. It's just very emotional. I feel so connected to the characters, like I know them, like they are real people. I've always think that, you know, character driven stories are something that I usually really enjoy because they make me feel the most emotions, you know. If I feel like I know the characters, like I say, as though they're almost real people, it's gonna pull those emotions out of me. So yeah, really enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of quite serious topics in this one, just like there was in Beartown. A lot of things that, you know, happen in real life, and yeah, I just really love it. I really love it. I've literally just finished it, so I feel like I haven't got all my thoughts together right now, but I honestly don't know if I can give it any less than 5 stars. I feel like I need to, because I already feel like I want to read Beartown again and start rereading the series, even though I've not even finished it yet, just so that I can stay with these characters for a bit longer. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it 5 stars. I just have to. I'd really recommend people read this series. I know it's very popular. It's not like, you know, an indie series that I've just found, but I really think you should read it, especially if you enjoy character driven stories like I do. I think you will enjoy it. So yeah, that's the second book of the video done. Time wise, we have got 8 hours and 14 minutes 43 seconds left, so I think that hopefully should just about be enough time to finish the Jasad Air. So I did read it, I started it last night and then I read a bit more of it this morning before I got out of bed, but I'm only 28% of the way through. So according to my Kindle, there's 8 hours 37 minutes left. So how long did I say? I said 8 hours 14 minutes. So hopefully, sometimes it can be a little bit off on the Kindle, so hopefully I'll be able to get it finished within the time frame. Even if not, like, I will finish it, but yeah, hopefully I can get it done within the 8 hours 14 minutes. It is 1:15 now, so if I just straight read for 18 and odd hours, it's going to take me to about 9:30, which is perfect. So hopefully I should be able to finish the 24-hour readathon in 2 days. This might be the first time I've actually been able to do that. I feel like usually it ends up going at least to 3 days, if not 4 or 5. I think last time it ended up being nearly a week, I think I was doing it for. But yeah, hopefully I can get it done all today and get the Jasad Air finished. So like I say, I am 28% of the way through the Jasad Air. I'm enjoying it so far. I feel like it's only really just beginning, you know, it's set the scene now. I feel like the way it's written is so descriptive. Like I can imagine the whole world in my head, which is always so helpful, especially when it comes to a fantasy world. I want to be able to like visualize it all. I think the characters so far, I don't necessarily feel like pulled towards the characters, but I think again, I think mainly it's been like setting the world, letting you know the lore, sort of putting you into place so that the story is now properly gonna start. It's kind of set the, like, let you know all the backstory so that you're up to date type thing. So yeah, I feel like it's about to start unraveling a bit more to what's actually going to happen. Basically, the Jasad Air, so the Jasadi people, have got magic inside of them, and in this world they are outcasts, I guess. They've all been like murdered or have had to be on the run, and they're being hunted down purely just because they are Jasadi. So you've got Sylvia, who is on the run because she's a Jasadi and she is actually the Jasad Air. And so she is on the run. She's obviously can't tell anyone that she's got this magic inside her, and she's just having to pretend that she isn't like strong and powerful. And she kind of sets a home up for herself in this lowly village, and all of her family got killed in this big fire that happened. I'm not 100% sure. I'm a little bit like unsure around that whole storyline, but it sounds like they all kind of got killed in a big fire, and she's the only one that's left from the royal family, hence why she's the Jasad Heir. But like I say, because she's got this magic, she has to go on the run. She can't tell anyone that she's still alive, so everyone thinks the royal family all died in this big fire. And then one day the Nazal Heir, which is another town in this world, ends up tracking her down, doesn't know that she's the Jasad Heir, but knows that she's got some kind of magic, and basically says, you're gonna be my champion in these trials. If you say no, you're gonna get killed, and I'm gonna kill everyone that you have learned to love that's around you. No one else knows that she is the Jasad Heir, or that she's even Jasadi, but yeah, he said basically, you're gonna be my contender in these trials, you're gonna win, that's your only option, and if you don't, well, you'll die in the trials anyway if you don't win, but also if you don't, we're gonna kill everyone, you know. So that's kind of where it's up to, that's what's happened at the moment. But yeah, I'm gonna sit down now, and I might get something to eat first actually, and then sit down and carry on reading. And like I say, hopefully it's gonna start getting a bit more into it now, and we're a bit more, the trials haven't started yet, but I think that's, you know, it's gonna be starting soon. So yeah, let's carry on reading, get my last 8 hours done, and I will have actually completed a 24-hour readathon in the time scale I wanted to do it, the 2 days. So yeah, let's just get back to it. and that brings us to the end of my 24-hour readathon. I have finished the Jasad Air. My timer finished about 10 minutes ago, but I've literally just finished the book. There wasn't much left, so I thought I may as well just finish it. God, I feel so tired. But yeah, I finished the Jasad Air. Overall, I enjoyed it. I think a lot of it was quite predictable, but overall I did really enjoy it. I think things started to make more sense towards the end, and it definitely ends in a place that makes me want to read the next one. I want to see what's going to happen. The next one is already out. I think I'll probably have a bit of a break, but I will definitely read it at some point. There was 2 years between the first one coming out and the second one. The Jasad Air came out in 2023, and the Jasad Crown, I think the second one's called, has only just come out. So I think I might maybe read them when the third one comes out, assuming there's going to be a third one. Maybe it's just a duology. If it's just a duology, then I'll probably read it soon. If it's a series, then I'll probably read them closer to the time of the next one coming out, just because I will definitely forget, you know. But yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I definitely want to carry on the series. I just think there were moments maybe where I was a little bit confused, but it also doesn't help that I'm like tired from reading for 24 hours. Which is the only thing with these readathons, is I'm not always alert enough to like be enjoying the book, so it's kind of almost not fair on the book. And if I read it outside of a 24-hour readathon, maybe I would rate it higher. But anyway, yeah, I'm probably going to give it a 3.5 stars. Not my favourite, but like I say, definitely want to carry it on. And I think if I reread it, the same with the Raven Scholar, if I reread it, I'll enjoy it even more, you know. But yeah, that is the end of today's video. I am very tired now. I'm going to go straight to bed. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did and you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. But other than that, I will see you in a bit.